Hey guys, Moose here with another episode of Minecraft. I am joined by Eric
Hello.
and Karen.
Hi, hi.
Dick, come on. Say hi like you're not a freaking weeaboo. Anyway, I'm going to be exploring this ravine, and Eric, what are you going to be doing this episode? Off camera.
Yeah, just the same subterranean basement building. I'm the
Yeah,
basement dweller today.
I haven't even showed that yet. I should probably do. I mean, there's not much to see. It's like a empty box, basically, at this point, right?
Yeah, it's just a big gray box. So I mean, if that gets you excited, if that floats your boat.
Well, we're all playing Minecraft, so to some degree, it kind of has to, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
Alright, so what about you, Karen? What are you up to this episode?
I'm trying to work on the greenhouse that Sadie slash tech support originally had, because I promised to rebuild it, and I'm rebuilding it right next to the bakery this time.
Cool. And of course, as I said, I'm just screwing around in a ravine, which hopefully will be more exciting than watching me build a 2x2 tunnel straight off in the distance for 40 minutes while we talk about No Man's Sky. I realized like halfway through, because I wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing, I was just sort of like, alright, this is a fun conversation, I'm having fun. And it was like, wait a minute, I'm like, literally, the video may as well not exist for this episode. It was not great. But anyway, this should be better.
That's pretty much what I look like on my end on both accounts. Like
Yeah.
the last time and the time before.
This is going to turn into a podcast at some point if it gets interest, so, alright. Well, anyway. We're definitely kind of doing that as it is, but, yep, so our topic for this episode, we kind of talked about it, and I think we wanted to touch on not these games specifically, but more recently, these are the ones that are relevant for this discussion. AM2R, which is another Metroid remake, another Metroid 2 remake, which is a little bit self-deprecating because it's a really fucking good game from what I've seen, and Pokemon Uranium, which were both nominally shut down by Nintendo. I don't know, like, they're not really shut down because, let's be honest, if something goes up on the internet, it's not really coming back down unless no one cares about it. So those are going to stick around for a while. I'm sure you can find a download link if you want to. Nintendo will be very disappointed in you, son, but other than that, I think you'll be okay. But it seems counterintuitive to some degree that Nintendo would shut them down, but this is not new for them, and I don't think it's new for the industry as a whole either. This seems to be the standard operating procedure for video game companies when someone makes a fan game. So what do you guys think? Like, do you know of any other good examples where this happens with companies other than Nintendo? I know there's other examples with Nintendo, but I'm curious, because I can't think of any with other companies.
Okay. The first thing that I can remember that got a cease and desist, well, not the first thing, the most recent thing that I can remember when I got into it, and I might catch some flack for this, but there was a kick-ass fighting game being developed by these fans of My Little Pony.
Oh god.
And but
this is Eric's last episode on Minecraft, guys. Enjoy it while you can.
No, okay.
Fucking My Little Pony content. This is gonna be good.
I'm not digging any further than this fan game. I can say that the
You
animation
fucking better not.
was fantastic. The polish was great, and like they put a lot of effort into trying to make sure the characters look like the characters in the show.
Wait, wait.
So,
was this related to 4chan in any way?
I don't remember.
But was it
so.
okay? Was this like, we're fans of the show and we want to make a fighting game about this, or is it more like, hey, let's watch these kids characters beat the shit out of each other?
I guess a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Okay.
But
because now
they were
like,
definitely fans of the show.
Okay. Because if it was more satirical, that would actually be funny.
Oh, I would, yeah, no kidding. And I feel like they probably would have that game would have come out if that was the case, because it got shut down by Hasbro for similar reasons.
What do they fucking care?
But it wasn't a straight. But I mean, it's an example of what a lot of companies do that. And so the way Nintendo handles it, I feel like for AM2 AM2R.
Yeah, you got it.
AM2R. I feel like that was like a development team for Sega, ironically, or like AM2 something. But
Oh,
anywho,
okay.
I feel like Nintendo. At this point, it's not surprising for Nintendo. They've
Yeah,
done the same
just
stuff
disappointing.
for sure. But again, the game still exists, and there's not really much they can do about it. So ultimately, it's just them alienating themselves from that part of the fan base.
And
Oh no, what the hell am I talking about? Another thing that was kind of in a similar vein where they shot themselves in the foot as far as like cease and desist and things like that was the legacy server with Blizzard and World of Warcraft.
Oh,
Like I
right.
feel like anytime someone
yeah, I heard about that.
takes original, what's that?
I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of. I mean, I don't play the game, but I feel like when you can't offer, like, my personal opinion, if you can't offer what a fan is offering and they're not doing it for money, just let it rest. It's free publicity. People are probably going to go out and buy the game it's based off of at some point. I mean, I guess in
They probably
AM2R,
already did.
right?
Well, yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. With AM2R, it's kind of a moot point because Nintendo wouldn't be making money. Well, I guess if they bought it on 3DS.
Yeah, virtual console, they would be buying it. But it's in that case it's not like here's a it's not like even an emulated thing. It's actually like a full-on remake. Very good from what I saw too.
But I'm sure so by Nintendo shutting it down, how much are they doing to harm both sales and the fan base, right? Like if you got the fan game and like, you know what, I never actually played the original, I should go check it out, and you buy it on 3DS, boom, you made money. They made money. But I feel like there's probably more to it than that as far as and how much of this is Nintendo's fault and how much of it is Nintendo's legal team. Like there's a divide there you got to think about.
No, I don't buy that at all. If you're part of the company, you're part of the company. You represent. Look, if you can fire employees for like representing the company in a negative light, then tough shit. If the legal team does something, that's on you. It's still the company. I don't accept that they're different.
I wouldn't say not so much different, because I mean that's a valid point, and I completely agree. It definitely sucks at the very least, but like you could easily be saying, or I don't know who developed Metroid. I can't remember.
I don't think it was really any one guy ever got associated with it, really.
Right, but I feel like developers and programmers at Nintendo probably have to at least be somewhat impressed. Be like, wow, they really love the game, and that's awesome. But then when Nintendo still has to protect their IPs, and I guess the way they handle it is they just shut everything down because it's the most painless for them.
They don't. There's legal precedent for just letting it go and retaining your rights and everything. So it's not a rights issue. Like they're not going to lose anything by letting it sit there. From a trademark perspective, I guess. That's a non-issue, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, that's a fair point. I'm just trying to think of ways that, I'm trying to put myself in the perspective of Nintendo and as to why they handle things the way they do, because I don't agree, but I feel like if I could get an extra look in there, maybe something would make sense, something I'm obviously not getting.
I think that's just their normal process is just shut it down. Fuck them. Because they're not getting anything from it really from their perspective, even though they are, because it's nurturing a fandom that they frankly haven't been too nice to recently.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't know if that actually plays a part in them pulling the plug. I think that's just business, but it's still kind of a bummer because we definitely do need to see another Metroid.
Yeah, a good one too. And it's
Not
interesting.
Team Ninja with another bullshit.
Yeah. Who did the Prime ones were internal, right? That was all them.
Yeah, pretty sure that was. Let me check.
It's kind of a Matrix trilogy situation. I don't want the second two, but the first one was real fucking good. You give me more of Metroid Prime 1, I will play the shit out of it. But honestly, if you gave me a game, if you gave me a side-scroller on 3DS that basically was Fusion, like for gameplay and also story and like atmosphere, play the shit out of that. It was a
Yeah.
fan. Like I know I'm basically like I don't know why I just kind of got on a kick of Fusion is the best game ever, but I've just been thinking about it lately. I haven't played it in a while. It's a really, really good game, and that's the kind of game that stands up to time because it's just so atmospheric. So, I kind of want to play more of that. I think that's how you make a 2D game like work in this era, is you give it good atmosphere. It doesn't just have to be nostalgia.
Oh no, of course not. First thing, and again, I haven't played it, so I don't have much. I can probably get the same flack that you can, but I assure you that if anyone hears you say, "Oh, I love Fusion, I want more of that," but you haven't played Super Metroid, people are
Yeah.
going to be like, "But I understand where you're coming from too."
I don't care. I
Exactly.
genuinely don't give. Oh fuck! I saved it. Okay, cool. I don't give a fuck what people think about that. Super Metroid was before my time. I never had an NES. Never had an SNES. Wasn't something that I had access to, and I'm fine with that. It's done. It's over. I've played some of them on emulator. Played the shit out of Chrono Trigger. I have emulated that many times, and I regret nothing. It's an amazing game. That's more my pace for that era, I guess.
Well, and I know you obviously like Let's Plays. I would definitely encourage you to at least go check out like Summer Games Done Quick, Metroid, Super Metroid.
Well, maybe after I play it myself. I will play it at some point. I just like maybe I don't want to see the whole game. Someone else playing it. Like that's one I'd want to do myself first.
Yeah.
Maybe let it be
at least then there's some hope.
A stream goal eventually. Like, hey, if I get this many subs, I'll get off my fucking lazy ass and finally play Super Metroid for the first time ever. And you can see an idiot like, hey, what's all this though? Okay, I didn't know that was in the game. Learn about something as iconic as that for the first time.
Right.
But then you
quickly going back.
Yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt.
No, it's
Retro
good.
Studios put up Prime. So the same people who did the most recent Donkey Kong Country games. Retro Studios is baller. Like everything they've put out so far has been pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'd like to get them back on Prime. I don't like 2 and 3 though. Again, I mean they're fine. I bought them. They're passable game. I bought them twice actually, but I want more of 1. Oh fuck off! Witch is throwing stuff at me. Trying to find your little hole that you dug that you showed me a while ago. There it is. Down there. The ravine I found was very boring. But yeah, I feel like they should just let fan games be, because they're generally, I feel like they foster fandom and just let it go. That helps you in the long run, so just let it pass. It seems kind of silly to punish and especially punish ineffectively by saying, hey, don't do that. But it's on the internet, so tough shit. Like, it's over. Like, them saying, like you said, hey, you can't do that, doesn't actually stop anything.
Right. So right now, A2MR is essentially that one picture of Beyonce from the Super Bowl.
Yep. And honestly, maybe them saying, hey, you can't do that, maybe that's like basically just free extra publicity for it. It seems a little silly. I don't know. It just seems completely pointless for them to do this. So
now you just brought up an interesting point, and Karen, I really want to hear what you have to say about this too, but I want to bring this up before I forget. How much? Because I still feel like part of this is forced. Like, I don't think that everyone on Nintendo universally agrees with this, decision.
Of course,
but how much of that is just them responding to it to indeed stir up some,
No, come on, they're not like that. I think Nintendo is far more likely to be bumbling and stupid than they are to be clever in that way.
I think you're going to get surprised someday if that's the case.
Well, look at some of the decisions they've made with all the gimmicks and just like they've put out good games lately. Like there's Super Mario Galaxy's good.
That was in like 2005. That's not lately.
Was it really that long ago? Jeez. I'm fucking old. Alright, well what have they done lately? 3DS is real good?
2007.
Okay, you're off. You're still, doesn't matter how much you're off by, that's still very recently. Or, not recently at all is what I meant to say. Oh, this is just where we've already been. How disappointing. What
Let's
a
see.
shame.
Honestly, what has Nintendo been doing lately? How about
Wind Waker was around
yeah,
the
like
same
a bunch
time.
of HD remakes.
Yeah.
What have they done on
This-
the handheld? They're not really first party anything. Like, I'm thinking about the games I play, it's like, okay, Final Fantasy Explorers is real fun. Rune Factory 4 is real fun.
Yeah, but
Fire
that's not
Emblem?
for-
They've done Fire Emblem.
Splatoons really work for them. It
Is that-
seems
Oh,
they
yeah,
even
How-
had concerts
Splatoon's
and
huge.
everything.
How first party is that? Like, is it... Because that
That's-
seems like a kind of off-brand Nintendo.
No, it's
I'm pretty
actually
sure
an
that's Miyamoto.
original IP.
But it's
Because
like...
they were.
It's not like they're
sorry,
A-Team.
Sorry.
Time
Because they were saying when they finally showcased Splatoon, like the joke was, oh, Nintendo finally came up with a new idea that's not, Mario and all this other stuff.
Well, Mario's worked out pretty fucking well for them.
Well, yeah,
I don't
like
totally blame
it
them for
was
that one.
it was just a joke about
No, I
how,
know.
they haven't really came up with a new thing.
Yeah, it's valid. No, maybe this
Okay,
is new.
so I was actually way off. I ventured to say that Miyamoto was involved with Splatoon, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. Oddly enough, here we go. So, software development group number 2, which I guess is in charge of Splatoon, also put out Animal Crossing Wild World, Star Fox Command, the Mii channel, Wii Sports, Wii Play, Wii Music. So, I mean, that's a pretty big part of Nintendo.
So it's basically like Animal Crossing and then the secondary titles.
A lot of the pack-in stuff: Wii Sports Resort, Animal Crossing, Wii Music, Wii Sports Club, Nintendo Land.
So they're the grinders. They're the grinders who just kind of get shit out. Interesting.
But I mean, that's tough to say as dismissively when Wii Sports is the best-selling game of like all time.
Yeah, because it was packaged with every console.
Irrelevant.
Like it was good. I liked it. I actually liked it a lot. I wish I had an analog for that on the Wii U. But instead they're like, hey, we're gonna give you Wii Sports. Yay! But it's like a subscription-based weird-ass fucking, like, what is this situation?
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell the deal was. It's so fucking bizarre that they made it like a subscription thing.
Do people even pay for those?
I'm sure some idiots do.
No. I mean the paid games that they included for Mii's in 3DS.
Probably.
Oh, I will say I've been tempted a couple times. There's been a couple that seem remotely interesting.
What are these? I'm not thinking I'm familiar with these.
In the Mii Plaza, you can play Find Me and Find Me Too, which is like this super basic, like, go from room to room doing a turn-based strategy with a party of like 10 people, and depending on what shirt color they wear, they have a different ability, and that helps fight ghosts and things, and then you rescue your avatar.
This
and
sounds...
it's basically...
Sorry, go ahead.
So,
Sorry.
I'm just saying it's super basic and really just there for the novelty when you first get the 3DS, in my opinion.
Do you remember PDAs? Like personal
yeah,
data assistants,
personal
like
yeah.
Palm Pilots or digital? Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
This sounds like a tech demo type game that was prepackaged with PDAs back in the day. This doesn't sound like an actual title that someone made to sell.
Well, and the reason you play it, aside from for the novelty, is that you can get in-game cosmetics for your avatar by venturing into this. And then there's
so
another game that comes
Karen's
packed
addicted to
in.
this.
Not really, but like I did play it. Cause like, like every time you get a street pass, you open it up because they can give you some stuff.
Right.
Okay. I just figured getting like cosmetic gear would be pretty cool with you.
But
Well,
it did. Sorry.
I just wanted to quickly touch on the puzzle matching game too. There, like, you meet people and they give you a puzzle piece to like a million different boards, so you can never actually complete a puzzle. But when you do complete a puzzle, you get this super cool 3D like picture of,
That you never
like,
get, though.
rendered. Right. I think I might have two, and I bought my 3DS like years ago at this point.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I guess because like I normally carry my 3DS with me wherever I go. So, if I go on a walk, I get the what do you call it? The walking like meter
Pedometer.
thingy.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And,
Oh, I
also for
found a
people who
mob
are also
spawner.
carrying 3DS
Nice.
around me.
Kind of getting overwhelmed, but it's okay.
You don't sound overwhelmed.
No, well, I just don't really care. I'm just gonna heal up. Like, I wasn't gonna die, it's fine. I'm just low health. But,
So,
no, sorry, go ahead.
I was just I know we've kind of went off the beaten path a little bit, but I do want to hear what Karen has to say about fan games in general before we branch off for good.
Oh, sorry. 'Cause while you guys were talking, I tried to look up the name of that Pokemon MMO because I just remembered it as Pokemon MMO. But
It's reasonable to
apparently,
refer to it as that, I think.
yeah. But like I was surprised I didn't know it was like in 2010. I thought it was just like recent. I was like, wow, it's been so long.
No, we're old. Nothing's recent anymore. By the time you hear about it, it happened 5 years ago. That's how it works. Once you hit 30, it's over, pretty much.
Can't believe
Nothing
it.
happens
I was
within
still in
5 years.
college when that happened. But yeah, so if I remember correctly, that one was a computer science student's project in college. Like that was his thing. And apparently got really, really famous that people started playing it because like that's the Pokemon MMO that a lot of people wanted, not, Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
But
Pokemon
yeah.
Go did some things good, but it didn't quite go far enough. Like, there's not enough. It's just not enough substance, I think.
Well,
Yeah.
I enjoy the whole, like explore thing with other people, but I felt like the gameplay was kind of lacking.
Oh yeah,
What
definitely.
gameplay?
Yeah, see?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good collector. Like, collecting is fun. I like collecting
Yeah.
stuff. So, but it's kind of needs a little. It needs to be fleshed out. I'm sure they will. It's people are shitting on it and comparing it to No Man's Sky, and I don't think that's fair. It's just it needs work. That's all, which is fine. But so we've kind of gone all in on Nintendo here because we can't think of too many other ones that have been shut down. I mean, we got the Hasbro one, but that's kind of it.
Well, and I wanted to touch on the Sonic Sonic Mania that's coming out, where they are doing just the opposite. Anytime, like, I'm sure anyone watching this who has even heard the name Sonic the Hedgehog can attest to how many ridiculous fan games there are. And these are not games that depict Sonic or Sega in a positive light, unlike Pokemon Uranium and AM2R. So how, like, the fact that Sonic or Sega hasn't said anything about these, and now that Sonic Mania is coming out, they have like the first person I heard was T-Lopes, because unfortunately during their the stream for when they were talking about this, they had a major sound issue, so the whole time
Oh,
there
I
was
heard
like this
about this.
high-pitched buzz, and it was unbearable. I had to stop watching. So,
I heard about that.
yeah, it was pretty rough. But I watched long enough to know that T-Lopes, who is an amazing Sonic the Hedgehog remixer, go check out his Scrapyard Zone for some seriously jazzy, awesome tunes, is doing the music. And not that I don't absolutely love Crush 40, because, Follow Your Heart and all that. I mean, those are songs of our generation.
No,
But-
they're really not. Okay.
No, I know.
I don't even know what it is, but I already know that it has something to do with Sonic, and I probably hate it because it's not one of the actual like ambient zone music things. So
No, it's very much like this kind of very chuggy, not so much hard rock, just fast. Like, I think I've heard it called butt rock before, because it's like just super happy and positive, and then all about following your dreams and being the best you can be.
yeah,
So,
I hate this. It's like the
But the
antithesis
music-
of who I am. Fuck everyone.
if you ignore the lyrics and just listen to the music, I do like the instrumentation. That being said, classic Sonic music has a much more, I don't know, poppy vibe.
Not
when you
shit
think about it.
vibe.
It's like, yeah. Well,
I have to take some swings at it. The stuff in Brawl that was Sonic related was like, oh, this is a really good song. I remember this one. Oh, I remember this zone. And then it was like, Sonic Boom, what the fuck is this? This is horrible. Like, why is this in the game? Why is this music in the game? This is how you want to represent the face of your whole fucking company? It's like, okay, if you put it out in the game that it came out in, that's one thing. But then you take it over to Brawl, and you're like, yeah, this is how we're going to represent our franchise. Sort of like,
so here's an interesting question for both of you. How much do you think the way they handle fans and fan creation has to do with the standing of the companies right now?
Probably pretty significant. Because Nintendo just kind of prints money, and they're like, fuck off. Even when we fuck up horribly, you still pay for it, so
Yeah.
it's whatever. Like, they don't care. Sega kind of has to watch their footing a little bit more. They just shouldn't still be. Well, okay, they've shit the bed pretty hard a good many times. So I don't know.
And it's, in the case of Sonic, I think it's fun. I like that analogy because it seems like every time they shit the bed, they feel like they just need to go out and buy a whole new bed. Because even when they don't shit the bed and Sonic Generations comes out, they still buy a whole new bed and use an entirely different, engine that they handmade for Sonic the Hedgehog games, by the way. Oh, holy shit! I need to light my basement. It is now.
Total
It is
Creeper Town.
overrun.
Oh
That's pretty
no.
bad.
Good
It's
shit.
pretty much an arena.
That's fun. Just
Royale.
if you let them in the hub, I'll kill you.
I have them blocked off,
Okay, good.
and I'm just kind of killing them.
I just like they get to the diamond chest and we start having some issues. Resource. I mean, I could just spawn them back in, but I don't like doing that. It's dirty. But
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to get a little bit further into Nintendo because there's a couple other things that are kind of relevant to my situation that they do that kind of piss me off. And I've talked about this with Karen a whole lot because we have conversations relating to this channel and what I'm going to do with it and what kind of games I can play on it because, I grew up with an N64. I had a PS2, but it was never the main focus. It was the N64, the GameCube, then kind of falling off with the Wii and the Wii U. But I've got them all. I've got a Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, DS, 3DS. Kind of got, not everything, but I've been in there the whole way. And I've got plenty of games for everything. So I'm kind of, like, as much as I don't really define myself as this, I'm much more of a PC guy. As far as consoles go, I'm a Nintendo guy. And,
I gotcha.
Part of that is, hey, it'd be kind of fun to make content for these Nintendo games I like. But the Nintendo Creator Program is kind of like a slap in the face a little bit, because they sell it like, hey, make stuff for our games and we'll let you do it. But then the reality is actually, well, that's kind of bullshit because it's fair use to make content and, put it out there, even to monetize it. Like, they don't really have a legal right to demand any income off of your videos, in my opinion, because... So I don't know why I'm supposed to give them 30 to 40% of everything I do. And it's sort of like, it pissed me off to the point where I kind of don't want to cover anything that it's out of principle, just not cover anything. And there's a lot of ambiguity about what you can do and what you can't do. It's just very frustrating. So I'm curious what you guys think about that.
I've been talking a lot, so I'll let Karen go first.
Oh, well, I mean, like we already talked about this before, and from what I heard, like that thing only really works, or like they only go after people with, like a really big fan base, or
You
their
can't.
videos became really, really popular.
But this is a business, and you cannot conduct business in that way. It's like, oh, don't worry about it. It's not a problem until I get popular.
Yeah,
You need to either do it right or not do it at all. So
but I do agree that, it's really crappy for them to still not embrace the whole like LP community and like think of it as kind of a scam. It's kind of like it reminds me of their like the way they perceive esports and how they're saying they were originally against it of some sort, right?
yeah, for Brawl, I think Eric might know more than I
Yeah.
do about this, but they seem kind of shitty about that.
But they just opened up recently. Like they seem so backwards, I guess. Like with PlayStation, they're trying to embrace the whole LP community. Like they know that it exists, and like instead of like pushing those away or pushing their consumers away, they added things like, okay, like you can actually record your videos through like PS4 instead of like, I mean, you can still buy an equipment to record, but like that thing is also included in the system. And
Yeah, lower
in a way,
budget, which
yeah,
it lowers the barrier to entry, which has always been significant for consoles.
go on. You cut off.
No, sorry. Well, it's fine on my end, but I was just saying putting a share button on it lowers the barrier to entry for consoles, which means that more people can do it. Because you could do it before, but even if you have hardware, it's helpful to not have to have hardware because then more people can do it without investing. And I'll tell you, like, if I had to invest a lot of money to do this, what I'm doing right now, I probably would have never done it. So accessibility is a huge factor in getting people into LPing and putting out content, which in turn is advertising for their product, which benefits them. So I don't get why Nintendo's not embracing it like Sony is.
And that's kind of what I was trying to, like mention that like they're trying to encourage people because like, that would get people to buy their thing. Like
Yeah.
even the games, it's kind of like free promotion or commercial for them. But yeah, I mean, it kind of reminds me of like what I heard recently. Apparently, like they're planning to release a new like 3DS, or I
Yeah,
don't know if it's
capture ready, yeah. I know what
yeah,
you're
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about.
yeah. And like back then, or at least like right now, like if you want to capture or record like 3DS games, you have to send your 3DS to some sketchy place. They pay like $300 or something.
Yeah, they install hardware, but he used to send out the kits, but people were like not doing it correctly, and then not
Mm.
blaming him necessarily, but harassing him. He didn't want to have to hold everyone's hand through installing it, so he just said, "Fuck it, I'm not. You can send it to me, and I'll do it. Otherwise, it's not going to happen."
Oh, I
Which is
didn't
a
know that.
kind of a valid perspective because he doesn't want to sign up to give support for all these people. They gotta, if you're gonna buy it and it's a self-install thing, you gotta be able to do it yourself because you're just wasting his time at that point. I'm gonna die.
And
So I've got a question. When did you finish that statement, Karen?
Sure.
oh, uh, I was just saying, like, that's what I was trying to say, that they seem so backwards and, like, late to the party. Like, even with mobile games, like, at first they were like, no, we're not gonna go for mobile games because, like, our original IP and our consoles are enough. And, like, everyone's like, okay, we're gonna make, like, mobile games because that's where, like, everything is. But they still refuse. And now, like, they finally released their game after, like, forever. They were like, oh, like our stocks kind of like increase because of like mobile games.
Yeah, money helps. Shockingly, money's good for
Yeah,
business. Who knew?
They're
but
just so
unfortunately,
behind.
yeah, I wanted to touch on that because I feel like up until very recently, they've been pretty much going by the same business model that they did in the '80s. Is the way I like That's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen, but apparently the user base for Pokemon Go has dropped by 10 million users.
Yeah,
That's
especially in the
normal.
US.
But that's normal though. There was a thread about this on Reddit on for our gaming or something. It's a misleading stat because No Man's
Oh.
Skies had the same thing. But like if you look at the gameplay, like a concurrent gamers like record for games, almost all of them they spike at launch and then immediately drop off. That's just what happens.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
10
that's
million?
normal.
Yeah. Well, I mean they had that many, so yeah, it went down. Obviously they had a lot, right? So
Yeah.
sorry,
But I feel like
digging this hole here, but I want to get the coal.
it's all good. I'm going to be getting everything that's in here eventually. I just getting the form factor down.
Fair enough.
But yeah, like I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I'm gonna use this to segue back into the Pokemon MMO that Karen was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if y'all. This is another example of. I don't remember how long it lasted, but this is another example of Nintendo pretty much shooting themselves in the foot. I don't think it was nearly as big of a deal when this happened, but way back in the day, it had to have been like. Oof, could have been like, when did Pokemon come out in America? Like 98, 90, 97?
Yeah, I think right at maybe 96 even.
So it
No,
had to
yeah,
have been-
98. 98 probably is right.
So early 2000s, there was a website called Pokemon Creator. And for a while, it was a user-based, basically kind of like this MMO sort of thing. It was very watered down in very early 2000s for a web app, but it was more about the forum anyway, the community. But you had an option of going into, basically it was, if I remember correctly, it was literally just a screen cap of the Safari Zone from Red, Blue, and Yellow. And you would just click the tiles and get a chance at catching a Pokemon, and then you could,
Oh, I remember that.
Oh, that's awesome. That's crazy. Yeah, but that went on for the longest time, and then it eventually got a cease and desist as well. And I think that was the closest thing to a Pokemon MMO at the time. But I could be off.
Well, but how do you interact with other users? Do you at all?
Chat and forum. Like,
Oh, okay. You say, "Hey, I caught
and-
this," and okay, great.
I think there was a divide. There may have been a chat that actually like hooked up to the Pokemon that you caught in game, and then there was a forum where I remember being, it was the very first time I think I probably ever role played in a forum, and I was a member of Team Rocket, so that was a lot of fun.
Of fucking course. On both the role playing and the Team Rocket aspects of that comment.
Well, I feel like if you're gonna do something that you can't in the Pokemon games themselves, might as well be the bad guys. Like, they seem like they're having the most fun anyways.
They're like so actually like something is not functioning in their heads though. It's a kid. Look, it's a video game and it's for kids. I get it, but like they're so stupid.
I feel. I think. I mean, this is getting a little nerdy, but I feel like in the book or in the games and in the comics, they're a lot more like sinister. But in the anime, yeah, they are, comic relief.
Even in the games, I didn't like respect. Well, how much am I ever going to respect them? But didn't like, he was okay, you guys are stupid, whatever. Throw more
Giovanni
Rattatas
scared
at
the
me.
shit out of me as a kid.
Why? What did he even do in the first game? I don't even remember.
Well, he was. I think you meet him the first time at Silphco, after scaling that god awful tower, right? So the first time I met him, I was like, "This is the boss of Team Rocket, the guys who blew up that guy's house." And with a actually,
Wait, they blew up someone's house?
Doug True. Yeah, they used a Diglett to basically cause a miniature earthquake and destroy someone's house. That's how you get the dig TM, I think.
I think maybe I was too stupid of a child to actually know what was happening in the Pokemon game. I think that might be the issue
the
here.
Wrong word.
No, I think stupid's exactly the right
word.
word.
I think
When he was young, it was just like, too long, don't read.
What do you mean? What do you mean when I was young?
Well, well, I don't know. Like, didn't you play that game when you were young?
Yeah, but my
Oh, yeah.
implication is that nothing has changed.
I know.
You're gonna say something, Eric?
No, it's just, I mean, that was a segue to begin with talking about Team Rocket, but I feel like even back then, Nintendo was still laying the hammer down. I'm trying to think what the first high-profile fan game that they blocked was.
My memory's not that good.
Zelda.
It could be. Was there a Zelda one?
I remember hearing about this one Zelda fan game that people played a lot. Like, I don't know if it was like before or after the Pokemon MMO, but like they use assets from the Minish Cap. I think that's the game.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, like
Were
the
they
assets.
charging for it?
No, but
Isn't that
yeah.
still kind of fair use? Like,
I mean,
I don't know if it is or not. I'm honestly asking.
Well, I mean, none of the fan games that we talk about were, like
No, I know.
commercial.
But now I'm
co-op.
like, I'm in my head shit, I fucked up the planning. Oh, well, whatever. In my head, I'm thinking like, wait, isn't all of this fair use? Why isn't it being protected?
I feel like, actually, a good game to bring up for this one. Have you guys ever played Super Mario Brothers Crossover?
No. What's
No.
that?
It's an amazing little flash game where you play all of Super Mario Brothers, but you can choose between like 8 classic NES characters like Ryu Hayabusa, Simon Belmont, Sophia from Blaster
Soul
Master.
Oh, never mind.
No, not so
I
far.
was
That would be
gonna say.
insane. You can play as Bill Reiser from Contra. You can play as just all these amazing characters. And the dude wanted to create an original game that was basically a reskin, but with like original levels, so he wasn't using the assets. And that's kind of where it comes down. I feel like when you're using the assets of the game is when you're really that's where they're going to try to hit you more than anything, because you're using.
But that's still fair use, isn't it?
I don't think so. I think fair use is only for parody or for like instructional.
Is that not parody? It's not necessarily comedic parody, but can't you do parody that's not meant for comedy? It's like commentary on the source material, which is kind of what doing new level design would be, isn't it? You're iterating on it, and it's non-commercial. That's the important thing.
Right. I mean, I feel like, okay, the non-commercial thing is definitely important, but I feel like it's not so much more about it being commercial, non-commercial as far as to what gets taken down, but as far as how quickly and how badly you get screwed. Because if you're trying to make money off a Nintendo property,
yeah, you're fucked.
Well, actually,
I mean, they don't even let
that
people do it legally. Well, do they? Well, with art, yeah, but that's different.
I was going to say, look at like Redbubble and
yeah, but that's so it's so
that.
prevalent. What are you gonna do about it, right? They're never gonna do anything about that.
Plus, in most of those cases, it's actual, like they're using original assets. So
yeah, it's just based on
So I think an interesting comparison, just to kind of look at how the mediums take it differently. Like, say you are, I'm going to stretch some things a little bit, but say you're like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like a popular band that's not bad and also kind of dickish. The first thing that comes to mind is, unfortunately, I'm not a fan of them, but Guns N' Roses, right? This is the most dickish person I can think of is probably Axl Rose.
Yeah.
Say this amazing tribute band comes out, and I mean, like, you are the biggest not Axl Rose, but Guns N' Roses fan. You go to this concert; it's the best thing ever. And you go and tell all your friends, and Axl Rose eventually catches wind of this and wants to like sue the shit out of them. You couldn't do that shit because that's not how it works.
Why isn't it the way it works?
Because a cover, I think that actually is still under that. Like, look at, oh no, I think it was, it got ruled when Weird Al covered.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
covers. It's parody.
That's parody.
But I mean,
yeah.
as far as a cover goes, that's a different. Yeah, parody doesn't count. I disregard what I just said.
Okay.
But I feel I don't know what the actual like law on covers are, but it's obvious that they, you can't be like, yo, that's my song, take it down. Even in like sampled music, you can't do that these days. So why
Can't you a little bit
do you
for
think-
sampled stuff? I've heard of people getting in trouble. Well, excessive sampling, like the Blurred Lines song. Alan
yeah.
Thicke or whatever his name was. He got in deep
I
shit
think
for
that's
that.
right.
So a little bit, yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. So I guess why would covers be okay if like a remake wouldn't be okay? That's kind of bullshit in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it's. I feel like it's tough to compare the mediums when something's interactive and like so many people put themselves. Well, not even that many people put themselves into friggin' Metroid 2. Like back then, development teams were smaller than Hello Games.
Yeah.
Really?
That's really
Were they
funny.
really? See, I don't know. Were they?
Yeah, like it was like friggin' 7 to 12 people most of the time. It seems.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know much about that era, honestly. So it's interesting though. All right. Well, that was an interesting conversation, but we're gonna have to end it there. And another very long one. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye.